show is having. But the other reason that I'm excited is because I'm genuinely excited for the wild card. Like
It's a
I
great
can't
weekend of
remember.
football, bro.
I
It's a great
cannot
weekend.
remember. I cannot remember the last time I've genuinely been this excited for the wild card. I cannot remember, especially when they expanded it to 7 teams on both sides of the bracket, where every team is interesting. Every game is something that I genuinely want to watch. And I will say this. Go ahead and fix my lighting. The point and the take that I have is the NFL got it right. Almost.
Almost.
But the NFL got it right in this in regard, right? Because what the NFL wants is to have parity. The NFL ultimately wants 32 good football teams. That will never happen. Bad coaching decisions aside, bad ownership aside, bad GM, bad personnel selections aside. That's never going to happen. But what can happen and what the NFL wants to happen is a weekend like this where you have 6 games and everyone is a motherfucking banger. Like every game has a storyline. The entire wild card has a storyline. You have the MVP race storyline between Lamar, Saquon, and Josh Allen. You have the old guard, the new old guard versus the potential new guard. You got the new Peyton Manning, the new Drew Brees, the new Aaron Rodgers, and the Pat Mahomes, the Lamar Jackson, the Josh Allens, going against the new bloods and the Jaden Daniels and the Bo Nixes and the Jordan Loves, even though Jordan Love is in the same class as Justin Herbert and whatnot. And then you have the rivalry storyline. You got Jim Harbaugh potentially playing his brother. You got the Steelers and the Ravens. You got the NFC versus the fucking Eagles because we all hate those bastards, dog. Like, this is incredible. I love it.
It's beautiful. Herbie, listen, you can't ask for a better wild card. When they first started doing the 2-7 matchup, it was like, damn, y'all just greedy. Like, y'all just trying to get more money. But now, the parity factor, there was a lot of good teams this year, Herbie, especially in the NFC. Imagine the Seattle Seahawks finished 10-7 and didn't make it. Like, that just
Imagine
goes to tell you.
Imagine
Yeah,
the Minnesota Vikings went 14-3 and they're not playing at home.
crazy. Crazy. Crazy, man. It's beautiful.
So again, I don't want to give too much credit to the NFL because the NFL, they lucked themselves into this because at the end of the day, the Washington Commanders had to get it right with Jaden Daniels. The Denver Broncos had to get it right with Bo Nix. The Ravens had to get it right with Lamar. The Bills had to get it right with Josh Allen. The Chiefs had to get it right with Patrick Mahomes. A lot of things had to go in a lot of people's ways, but the NFL did put the parameters in place for this to potentially happen. Will this be the case next year? I don't know. Will this be the case next 5 years? I don't know. But all I know is the 2024 playoffs is potentially awesome. All the games are going to be great? Most probably not. But the intrigue is there. And that's what I'm excited for, man. So with that, let's get into the game. And we have a lot of games to get through. So me and Rod are going to try to reel it in. We're going to try to do this in 5-minute segments for each team for all 6 games of Wild Card Weekend. And we're going to go in chronological order, starting with Chargers versus Texans. Let's preview. Rod,
Yes, sir.
Chargers versus Texans, 4-5 matchup on the AFC side. The
Yes, sir.
new old guard versus the new guard and the CJ Stroud going against Justin Herbert. We have the return of Jim Harbaugh in the NFL playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this game? And what is the key matchup?
All right, Herbie. So, when it comes to Chargers at Texans, Herbie, this is a game where you're going to have two teams that have been pretty good defensively all year. When I was looking up information for this game, because we looked up stuff for all the games, I was just like, first and foremost, the Chargers are hot right now. They finished the season on a 3-game win streak, and that always bodes well when you're going into the playoffs. And in the same token, they've averaged 34 plus points per game. So the Chargers are coming into the playoffs hot. When you look at what they do on defense, Herbie, the Chargers were ninth in pressures this year. They were a top 10 defense in pressures, right? Um, you look at they were number one defense majority of the season. And then of course, it's not just defense, right? You have Justin Herbert, you have an experienced head coach in Jim Harbaugh. You have Justin Herbert, even though his weapons don't, blow the doors off anybody. Lad McConkey has been a beast this year. You know what I'm saying? Quentin Johnston came on strong towards the end of the year. Spoiler alert, I might be talking about him a little bit. Joshua Palmer, supposedly he's doubtful for this game, so I'm not sure if he's going to play. But with the group of receivers they have, J.K. Dobbins at running back, you have one of the most, maybe like Jim Harbaugh is like in a weird place of coaches, Herbie, because he's been pretty successful damn near every year he's been in the NFL. He just decided to leave. He had trouble with ownership with the 49ers. He left, went to college, and now he's back. And you could argue that he's in a better situation, right? Because before he had Alex Smith, right, as his quarterback. Now you got Justin Herbert, who is kind of like Alex Smith with a bigger arm, I guess. Um, you have he has a defense that is as good. Now, granted, the star power isn't as potent. Like, he had Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, and when Alden Smith was actually good. Like, he had some bangers back then. But the Chargers are a loaded team, Herbie, and they're hot right now. And then you flip to the other side, the Houston. Houston is another team, great defensively. Their defense has been their unit all season long. You look at Houston's defense. They were seventh and third down. They weren't great points per game wise or in the red zone, but they had one of the most ferocious pass Ds in the league. They led the league. They were second in turnovers, second in interceptions, I mean. So and their rush defense allowed about 3 yards per carry. So they were pretty good against the run, and they were pretty decent against the pass at times. They just suck in the red zone. I think they ranked 27th. So you couldn't really drive on them, but at the end of the day, Herbie, with the way CJ Stroud has played, I don't really have a lot of confidence in them, and I'm not blaming him. One thing I'm noticing, especially when I posted the Bears take on TikTok, is that a lot of fans come and they want to defend their guy. Listen, I understand that CJ has been dealing with the worst interior offensive line arguably in football, and that has showed. But you know, at the end of the day, dog, you know, I give it to the
Hey
Chargers,
man,
Herbie.
listen, man, listen. I know what
I
you're
give
trying
it
to
to the
say.
Chargers, man.
At the end of the day, bro, who fucking cares? Everybody
Right.
has a. Listen, we don't pay you to complain about your bad interior O line. Does it suck? Yes. Are you going to be able to always have a functional offense with that? Not. But the great ones have to overcome. The great ones have to adjust, and the great ones have to be great, right? And again, is it all of CJ's fault that he didn't even match what he did his rookie year? No. Defensive coaches get paid too. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
he's going against a good defense. This is the playoffs, right? Like when you make it to the NFL playoffs, the team or the offense might not be good, but the defense usually is. So you're out there, bruh. Like bad O line or not, bad interior line or not, you got to produce. And we both don't trust them to do that. So I feel like you're going with the Chargers. You feel me? I'm going with the Chargers too. And you know how much that pains me, bruh. Anytime I put money on the fucking Los Angeles Chargers or I believe in these motherfuckers,
Bite you in the ass every time.
fuck biting me in the ass. Elmer Fudd blows up in my face, nigga. Double shotgun, bow, nigga, like Bugs Bunny, right? Like, bro, if they fuck me over they fuck me over on Saturday, Rod, I am driving to San Diego myself. And again, I'm still calling them San Diego Chargers. I'm driving to San Diego. I'm talking to somebody. Somebody's getting punched, all right? Bow, all right?
Wow. That's it.
That's it.
That's
All
it.
right. Next team. Because there's 2 games on Saturday.